went swimming in the river. Do you think this is crazy?
No.
I don't trust you.
Who did go swimming when we had a school trip?
Is it filming now?
I almost died.
Why?
That would be wrong.
I wanted to run in. Like,
Yes.
To warm up, you know.
Yeah.
And I ran in, but I tripped on something and fell with my face in the water.
Was the water warm?
No.
But how was the air actually?
Well, it wasn't. It was like.
Was it warm outside or?
So.
So, but the water was chilly, yes.
Yes.
The weather about Estonia, correct?
Yeah, can you show the location, please?
All right.
Yeah.
Over here, it's not named, but it's the one below Finland. So from what I have gathered of the weather from Estonia, the summers are quite warm and the winters are quite cold. I mean, last year there was quite a lot of, it was very hot in the summer. I actually went a couple times to different places around Estonia to near the sea because it was so hot, and she wanted to go on vacation.
Can you please make it a bit more scientific, very hot, or relatively hot? Can you use also numbers as estimate, like temperatures reaching above 40 degrees Celsius, but in Estonian summer?
I don't really know the exact numbers, but I think somewhere around that area, yes.
40?
Maybe?
What do you think? Are the Estonian summers so hot? Jaak-Albert?
It's, I guess it's mostly between 20 and 30 degrees.
20 and 30, this is, I would say, more like it, yes?
Yeah.
I came from Euro Mountains, it's here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Gothenburg, and in the summer it's usually plus 30, plus 38. Sometimes it can be even plus 45. And in winters, the lowest temperature was minus 50. And usually,
Minus 50.
yeah, usually every winter, almost every winter it is going down till minus 35. So,
35.
yeah, minus 35.
Can it be even more?
Yes.
You mentioned what can be like the coldest, like really extremes.
The coldest one was around 52 degrees,
Mm-hmm.
so it can be pretty cold.
Okay, thank you. Спасибо. So now I added some locations to the map. This is Ekaterinburg in central Russia, or near Ural Mountains in Russia, that Miroslav just told us about. And this is Larnaca in Cyprus. So which one of them is closer to the ocean or the sea?
The one near Smith.
Esmis, yes. And there are also several other cities. We will deal with them in a bit more detail in a minute. So you can also have a look. The topic is how oceans can affect climate. So before we go to some group work, Eva, have you ever heard such a term as oceanic climate? Or also,
Not really, but it's pretty simple.
but what do you think? What would it mean?
Climate, general average climate of the ocean, and in specific areas as well.
Mm-hmm. What would be the opposite of that? Bless you.
Thank you.
Oceanic or maritime climate on one hand, but what can be the other?
The climate of the land.
Yes.
Continental climate.
Yes, continental. Thank you. That's the term, actually. Yes. And these red dots, they are actually case studies that you will dig a bit more deep into. So for each group, I will now hand out one worksheet. Martti, can you please turn on the lights again? So, and here you have the same locations marked, and you also have some additional information. So groups, what I would like you to focus on now is these graphs, but one at a time. So pay attention just look at this graph that you chose. Pay attention to the lines of different cities. What differences do you notice and what similarities do you notice? So what do you see about your graph? Your cities were Lisbon and Madrid, yeah? So what is this line, this dotted line? So dotted is the minimum, yes? For instance, what's the minimum in July in Madrid? You can roughly also estimate. 15. And the maximum? Same time, same place. Sorry? 32. And at the same time in Lisbon, is the difference between maximum and minimum the same, or is it narrower? We're looking at the graph only, like which one shows more variance? Madrid shows more. And of those two, which is more closer to the sea, to the ocean? Lisbon, yes. Like, how can we do an experiment about the changes in, let's say, land or continental climate and oceanic climate? Are you willing to lead this process a bit?
Maybe you sort of recreate something like this.
Okay, let's say we should discuss like what items can we use, how we can proceed, what equipment we need, and then let's see if we have it. I reveal a secret. Yes, we have some, but let's see if Willa is leading the process on brainstorming how we can do this experiment. We have roughly 30 minutes for the experiment. Does every team have access to a stopwatch?
Yeah.
So, you have a phone? Esme, do you have a phone?
Yeah.
So you can start the stopwatch. Please turn your worksheets the other way. On the back side of the worksheet, you actually have very similar graph to this that. So water is still 14 and the sand is approaching. It's approaching 19 already. Yes.
Look at this.
It's that water.
Miroslav, do you know the concept or notion of inertia in physics? Inertia. Like some physical bodies are more inertial than the others. So what is it? Let's say you have two similar shaped and similar size balls, but one of them is like from metal and the other one is made of wood or plastic. So which has more inertia?
Which one has bigger mass?
Which one has bigger mass? Which one is more easy to kick into movement?
The wood or plastic one?
Because it has
Less
less inertia.
Yeah.
Less mass, less inertia. Okay, thank you.